experimenting with that side of it more. But getting back to the video thing, for right now, I think our focus is with each video we're trying to do something different, and this Lost in the Echo thing is just the first step in hopefully many. I don't think we're going to do another video that's interactive this way. I think the next thing, hopefully, we'll try something else.
Cool. Well, we have a lot of fans who have tweeted us at What's Trending and who are now in the fan chat on YouTube. So, Mike Diva, give us some of those questions.
Well, at 21anonymous90, good name, says, Mike, you seem to be an absolute workaholic. When you're not working, what do you do to chill?
I do enjoy painting, drawing, stuff like that. As you know, since you follow me on Twitter, like occasionally...
You're acting like I'm a cyber stalker or something.
I didn't say it. She said it. Yeah, I'll put up pictures, usually, Instagrams or something of stuff that I'm sketching, like before a show or in the hotel room, like even before an interview like this one. Sometimes you got like 10 minutes and I'm sitting there kind of just waiting, killing time. I grew up painting and drawing. That's actually what I thought I would be doing for a living right now, but the music thing kind of took off. So yeah, that's me.
All right, another question from the fan chat.
At LP_lover4life88. If you weren't famous, what path would your life take in? Period. BTW, you're an awesome dude. I love you.
Love it.
I think that's actually, similar to the last question. I actually grew up drawing and painting, and since I was 3. Like my parents, actually, one of the stories behind that was that my parents used to give me like a pen and like napkins or whatever when I was really little when we go to a restaurant, because they realized if they did that, I would shut up. Nice. And they could like finish their meal in peace. And so, yeah, since I was a little kid, I was always drawing, and that led eventually to art classes, and I eventually went to Art Center College of Design, which is here in Pasadena, and got my Bachelor in Fine Arts in illustration.
And now you design a lot of your albums and everything.
I do work on the album artwork. We have a little like art team that includes me and my bandmate Johan, and who I met at art school, by the way, and a bunch of other people, motion graphics, graphic designers, illustrators, etc. And Joe and I we're kind of creative directors when it comes to anything you see that has a Linkin Park.
That's really cool. More questions from the fans, because this is what it's all about. Mike Diva, what's going on?
Well, Aline LP fan says, which Linkin Park song can you relate to the most emotionally?
Emotionally.
I'm feeling that. Thank you for that one.
I actually don't have emotions, so...
At least you're honest.
I don't, and so I basically just listen to the noises and whichever one. It's almost like looking at like sparkly lights, like whichever one shines the brightest, that's where my attention goes. In this case, the newer songs, I think for any artist, like when you get newer music,
yeah.
The newer music tends to be, because it's new, that's where you're at in that point in time. And so a lot of these songs are a lot of fun to play live. We play Lost in the Echo live on this tour, and we're actually playing another heavier, weirder song called Victimized, which is, that's a ton of fun to play live.
And how does the experience change when you perform live versus what we see and connect to online?
I think sometimes it can be more raw and more like you get a sense of, it kind of rounds out the experience, because just seeing and hearing and feeling it all at once, standing in the venue, at least for me as a fan, has always been something that really it can be more memorable, or at least just rounds out the experience and makes it something different. For sure.
Now let's go to another fan question.
Alwix says, Mike, who was your musical inspiration and why? P.S. I love any song that you're featured in. Much love.
I grew up listening to a lot of different music. First and foremost, I grew up on hip hop, and I guess the first albums that I really got into, a lot of them were actually produced by Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys, Run DMC, LL, and then on to some of the other rap artists that came out around that time, like Big Daddy Kane, Boogie Down Productions, etc. That made me really nervous the first time we worked with Rick, which was now 3 albums ago, and it took me like months before I got really over that. I'm just sitting there in the studio just looking at him being like, this is the guy. Like, of my top 10 favorite albums, he's probably produced more than half of them.
How do you get over that when you're nervous and you need to perform and just be yourself?
He's really mellow. Like,
yeah.
he's not, I think with some people, if they were if he wanted to, he could freak me out for sure. But he's very mellow, and he's with us. He's been a great match because our band is built on the philosophy of like a hybrid theory. Like that was our first album, but it was actually the band name. Before it was an album name, it was our band name. And that's kind of how we envisioned what we do, is that we were just we all like different kinds of music and all these different things, and we're just gonna push all of it together, and instead of making it this like patchwork of different things, we're gonna make it kind of blend into one thing. And Rick is that guy too. Like he listens to so many different types of music. He really loves like everything. And when it comes to like actually working with artists, if you look at his discography, he's had a ton of experience with so many different genres that when we're in the studio talking about, you know, different musical references, if we were with a different producer, some of the stuff we would be talking about would kind of miss them. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You know, you could jump from the stuff I was just saying, like Public Enemy and whatever, to, you know, some obscure hardcore band, to like some 70s prog rock, to some pop artist. And somewhere along the way, a different producer would be like, yeah, I'm not that familiar with that stuff, but I know the other things. Rick, none of it misses Rick. So we can just have that conversation and always be in lockstep.
That's a great dynamic. Now, we did have some people that wanted to know, since you have scored movies like The Raid, are you going to star in any movies, or what other stuff can we expect from the film world?
I am not an actor. I got on stage a couple times when I was in high school, and I think my friends and I always joke about how, I mean, they definitely remember it. It was very memorable for them because it was just so bad. Like I'm a horrible actor.
So no acting, but more scoring though.
But more scoring for sure. I did enjoy. I did score The Raid, which was, if you haven't seen it,
huge.
Thank you. It's a super violent and super. It's not super bloody, but it's definitely like a great action film. So if you're into action films and fast-paced, you know, type of thing like that, then yeah, check that out. But yeah, I think the next thing I want to score would probably not be action. I want to try something else, and we'll see what happens.
Now, it has been so awesome having you here today. I think interactive music videos like this is where we're at, and just finding new experiences to connect with your fans. So where do you see it all going, as a last question?
Well, for me, like I said, this video is an experiment, and like on one hand, I love the fact that, you know, first of all, I'm grateful that everybody kind of like went along with it, because the label, there were people at the label who were nervous about it. They were saying, well, you're not going to get all those YouTube numbers. They're going to be going to your .com. Like you're going to have less numbers over there, and that's important to us. So what do we think about that? And luckily, they just went with us on it. And it takes risks like that to get somewhere new, you know? So on the plus side, this video has been received really well, and it's really made an impact with a lot of people. I'd say on the downside, I would like the next thing to not be limited to like just Facebook and just Flash, for example. So we're gonna look at ways to be able to kind of get something, the next visual thing, out to the whole Linkin Park world fan base. I don't know if it'll be actually the next video, or if it'll be somewhere down the line, but we'll see what happens.
A little tease for all of you watching. Well, thank you so much, Mike Shinoda, everyone. And all of you for joining, thank you. LostInTheEcho.com is the website to check out the new interactive video experience. Also, give it up for my co-host, Mike Diva. He'll be here all week as well. Subscribe to him and subscribe to us for the best of YouTube every day. Now here's one more thing. Bye.